Hello everyone and welcome back to MBC News. I'm your anchor Duza Dragonash and I have our very handsome team with us today of Sigmund Learminster.
Good evening.
Mal Burns, writer.
Good evening.
And editorial Clarity.
Hello.
Although it's been hilarity today so far. Well, the world's headlines. The United Nations has suspended Colonel Gaddafi's Libya from the Council on Human Rights issues as the possibility of civil war mounts in Libya. Thousands of refugees are lined up at the borders with Tunisia. Addressing the General Assembly, the UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said, "The world has spoken with one voice. We demand an immediate end to the violence against civilians and full respect for their fundamental human rights, including those of peaceful assembly and free speech. I welcome as well the recommendation of the Human Rights Council to suspend Libya's membership so long as the violence continues." He went on to talk of referring the situation to the International Criminal Court.
And the London School of Journalism is ending its Second Life programme and closing its SIM in mid-March. The SIM manager, Gilly Kidd, said that there's been good traffic and the project has actually been successful. The LSJ ran lectures by their real-life lecturers, which are free to attend for both their students and anybody from the ESL community. And the island has also been particularly successful for open mics and performances by writers, providing an excellent way for students and writers to get over stage fright. It also established the name of the London School of Journalism in a very positive way. However, the doubling of fees last December came as a shock, and at that time they said they couldn't justify that level of expenditure.
On Thursday, 24th of February at 12:30 Second Life time and midnight Cairo local time, a group from onislam.net launched a new sim in Second Life called the virtual Tahrir Square. In real life, Tahrir Square is a major public square in the Egyptian capital of Cairo and came to prominence recently as the focal point for the protests that brought down the 30-year regime of President Hosni Mubarak. The Sim's organizer, Wasef Mahmoud, said that, quote, "Our Tahrir Square is not for Egypt only. It is for all Arab countries and those who are asking for freedom and human rights respect and those who want to eliminate corruption and injustice," unquote.
In the USA, Georgia Tech is taking the lead on creating a new virtual world to improve science, technology, engineering, and math education for all students, especially those with disabilities. Robert Todd and his research team in the Center for Assistive Technology and Environmental Access are creating a virtual island in Second Life that will be a place for students with any kind of disability to go and get help with their studies. According to Todd, quote, "This island will focus on those students who may have a wide range of issues such as learning disabilities, blindness, motor skill problems, or cognitive issues, and it will allow them to have access to mentors, tutors, and other resources to help them succeed in their courses," unquote.
And the High Court in the UK has allowed extradition to Sweden of Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, who has to face sex crime charges there. A judge there said that there were no grounds for believing that Julian Assange would not receive a fair trial in Sweden. At the moment, Mr. Assange is on bail and his lawyers will appeal the decision. And it's over to Mal Burns for TechSpot.
Well, thank you, Duza. Well, we all know that virtual worlds are not exactly games, especially for those who work in them. But we do owe something of a debt to game technology. So two items of interest this week came up at GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference. To start with, Dassault Systems have announced a free publishing system that will allow virtual world developers to show their designs in what has been described as a fully immersive, stereoscopic 3D, allowing cooperation between the participants online and through TVs using 3D specs. The general idea seems to be that you will be able to get this technology, import models, embed them on Facebook and such, and connect your friends. And you will have little buttons by which you can alter your perspective in the 3D environment. Also announced at GDC is the fact that Ga Kai, if that's the right pronunciation, has gone live. Now, for those of you who don't know Ga Kai, This was the system that Second Life used to bring their sort of beta version of Second Life on the web to light some time ago. Basically, they've used a conference to say that the beta system is all go, and basically what they do is they stream video games and virtual environments through the cloud using sort of video for download technology and a separate upload link for your actions. Second Life has obviously been part of this beta, and it's still unclear at the moment whether the Second Life demo in this system will continue. But we'll have our fingers crossed for that. And finally, unrelated, we did mention the controversy last week over Redzone, the snooping software in Second Life. Basically, it's been used to implement ban by IP address functionality and making sort of fairly accurate guesses at people's alt accounts by their IP address. And basically, there's been a JIRA up at Linden Labs which has been petitioning the lab to do something about it. And as far as we can see, what's happening now is that Redzone will have to obtain consent from any avatar that they really want to snoop on. But there are a lot of rumblings in the blogs that this doesn't really go far enough. So we'll keep you informed on progress as it happens. So
quite interesting, that, isn't it, Mal? I mean, the fact is that everybody wants to know, but nobody wants to be known about.
Yes, exactly. If somebody offers you a snooping tool, you think, oh yeah, I'm going to be a spy. But if you get somebody else using it, you just go up the darn wall, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well. And now for these messages.
At Micropets, we take product development very seriously. Spending years in the laboratory, toiling over the land, developing the perfect habitat. Why? For this little fella and this little lady. Breedable piggies. With love. From Micropets.
And welcome back. Okay, the University of Hawaii is opening a virtual sim in Second Life with the simulcast and celebration this week, and with a strong cultural theme and real-life courses held in world. There'll also be areas specifically created for a virtual world, so if you're curious about that, hop along there and have a look around. And London Fashion Week was echoed this week in Second Life. Now, Eddie, you've been along to see some of the shows, haven't you?
I went to some of them, yeah. Yeah, I went to go check them out. One of the ones that I went to go check out was on Saturday, and it was the Black Opal show. Now, Black Opal is mainly steampunk, type clothing, theme clothing. And they had a bunch of well-known models there. They had, models including Leandra Breen, Locked Semaphore, Lulu Brower, Rankin Greyho, and just about 40-plus people there in attendance. And basically they were and I asked actually one of the designers of Black Opal called Trilobite Zanzibar, and I asked him what London Fashion Week and being part of that meant to him, and he said that they are both fans of London in both real life and Second Life, as they think it's one of the greatest cities in the world, and that event gives them the great opportunity to show off their most recent or favourite collections to the rest of the Second Life public. But there was a few cases of lag here and there, as you get in SL. But apart from that, I think it was a pretty successful week, and all the shows were organised and done by OPM Fashion Agency as well, modelling agency. So, yeah, I think it was pretty good this year.
I had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Might have some footage there to show you, I think. Okay, Sigmund.
Well, NBC received an unexpected scoop on the grumpy old Avatar show last Friday, when guest Stroker Serpentine revealed that his 2-year dispute with Linden Labs has been settled. Now, there's no public details of the settlement available just yet, but we have this short clip.
Oh, yeah.
We settled the lawsuit with Linden Labs, settled amicably and reasonably, and we're anticipating a concerted effort on Linden's behalf going forward towards content protection and the rights of content creators, and at least being aware of the fact that there is a lot of content theft going on out there. So, scooped you on that one.
So you're not exactly grumpy about that, then, are you?
I'm not exactly grumpy about that. I was grumpy about it to begin with, and I'm not grumpy anymore.
For a while.
That went on for like 20 years, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like at least a couple of decades, it seemed like. But no, it's about a year and a half now, and glad that's behind us. Looking forward to the new CEO.
Thank you. And I'm not sure I want to read this out, but I will. Following on from a story last week about a food festival where horse semen is on the menu, a London restaurant has since been told that it has to take breast milk ice cream off the menu. Apparently, mother's milk is far more dangerous than stallion sperm. Or so thinks the Westminster City Council. That is Westminster City Council that sold our graveyards off for £1. Anyway, memories die hard. Matt O'Connor, the owner of a store called the Ice Creamist, is dismayed that officials have pulled the plug on his hit concoction known as the Baby Gaga. Or Baby Gaga. The case is now before the British Food Standards Authority, who will be testing the creamy dessert for dangerous bacteria. What's ever happened to equality? And now for some public service announcements. Over to Eddie.
Alrighty, well, there's a correction from last week's news. Avination contacted us to say that the information that they had announced the hosting of a gambling grid that we'd received was inaccurate. So if you want to know more, just go to Metaverse TV and watch Grid Rep for the full story. Next week is International Women's Week, and this year is the 100th anniversary, so keep a lookout for celebrations in Second Life and beyond, or even host one yourself. Now, Red Nose Day, a drive against child poverty in Africa and the UK, is on March 18th this year, and people in and out of world are gearing up for the events. Go to the Comic Relief website for information, and we ourselves at Metaverse TV will be doing a 24-hour event. If you would like to be part of that, please contact Lisa Hermano at Metaverse TV. Now, competition catch-up. Claim to Fame is moving ahead with its castings, and this week MBC went along to see the set as Claim to Fame team prepared for the first auditions. And that went very well, by the way, and that is the public service announcements for today. Do so.
Thank you very much, Eddie. So, there we are, folks. That's all we've got time for this week, and it just remains for our gentlemen to say goodbye.
Goodbye, and have a good week, folks.
And it's goodbye from me too.
And it's goodbye from me too.
And it's goodbye from me too. So stay safe from MBC News. By the way, boys, what objections would you have to drinking breast milk?
Absolutely none, because as a kid, I apparently I used to do it. So.
Indeed.
I wonder if it's flavoured. Oh, it's ice cream, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good movie title, is it? The Ice Creamist.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Chocolate.
Like a Sweeney Todd kind of thing, you know? I'm just waiting for somebody to make it.